All right, what's up, everybody? This is Big Nard. Hey, this is what part four. So we're at part four of me doing video testing while reading the Art of War Sun Tzu. Now, this says my first recording, but this is my first. This is my fourth official. I think my third official recording on YouTube. Um, as part of this, I think the first one might have been on Twitch. I think that's at Big Nard 007 at Twitch. I gotta double check, but I think it's Big Nard 007 at Twitch. Twitch TV at twitch.tv/Big Nard 007. I think that's because that's where I'll be playing the Call of Duty and do my online gaming. So anyway, with that, just want to go back to saying that we're starting part four. We ended at chapter two. And again, this was me testing with the light, found out some better things with the lighting, with the testing. So like my glasses don't have those um, big lights in my glasses. Like, so when I was looking, you could see the light reflecting in my glasses. So kind of repositioned the light, and now I don't see the reflection. A little bit is okay, but that was like I had big reflective um, reflection shining through the light. So again, so that's what I'm doing. So I'm reading this again for the people who don't know. It's the Art of War, Sun Tzu. Check out the other videos prior. Again, this is just me testing, so it's not professional. It's me reading right from a book, um, giving my insight on it, and that's pretty much what I'm doing. Just reading, but while I'm doing it, I'm doing this to see what I should do to improve and make things better. So that's pretty much what happened. And I like this. I like the reading. So this is something new. I'm already thinking of another book to read too. And but again, it started out as me just testing, and then I picked up this book just to read it while testing, and then I said, you know what, I enjoyed reading it, so I'm going to continue this process. So, and then you notice I'm starting without the headphones. What I did notice is the mic, like if I move back too far, kind of sounds far. I don't hear what it sounds because right now there's a pause. Looked like there was a pause on the stream, which is not good. So I don't know if that actually paused on YouTube because I'm not looking, but now gotta fire up YouTube, make sure that it didn't do that. So I'm gonna try to go to the YouTube live streams. Make sure. Okay, so give me 1 second. That's what this is all about. That's why I'm doing this, so I could test and get everything right. So when I actually do what I do, it's have it um somewhat ready. So let me see. Yeah, I'm trying to get. Let me see. Switch accounts. Yeah, see, I'm doing this now, so when I start doing it, I have all this stuff together. Right now, I don't have it. There we go. Right now, I don't have it, obviously, together. Let me see. All right, so I'm here. All right, I'm here. And, like, even here, like, how do I find my, what I'm doing? Yeah, I don't even know how to get to my stuff. Is it live? Your videos, I guess. Is it actually live? It says it's live. So I don't even see my. Oh, here we go. Let me see. No, everything is old. That's weird. So I don't even see the video that I'm doing right now. But it says it's broadcasting. So this is hilarious. See, now this is why I'm testing, right? This is the whole purpose of me testing. Because right now, um, I don't see my live. Like I don't see me. says today. But shouldn't it say live? Man, is my connection that bad? Maybe my connection is bad. No, it says it's connected. So sorry about that, but this is why I'm testing. This is the whole purpose of this. So don't want to disrupt the reading part. Because dude, that's crazy, man. Oh, so that's history. Right? What the hell? Dude, this is crazy. Oh, this is crazy, man. So it looks like I'm assuming I'm streaming. So if anybody's in the chat, does it even show the chat? Let me see if I could I'm just gonna type test 1, 2, 3 in the chat. Let me see. All right. But yeah, man, I don't have nothing that says that I'm streaming live. So no notifications, and I'm the one streaming, so that's interesting. And I can't find it. Let me see. Oh, so I guess so it went out and then it came back. So I got 2 of them on this side. Let me see. I do not see. So we go live. I see other people's live stuff. Yeah. What? I don't get it, man. Let me see my studio. Did I go to studio? No. Dude, that's really crazy. Let me see. I'm confused, man. So I don't mean to be like I said, I'm not trying to I don't understand this. So it doesn't show. I can't see it streaming on YouTube. On my account. Let me see. 2 settings. Watch. Oh, here it is. All right, so it is okay. So it is recording. How does it sound? Let me see. Might be an echo because I'm gonna turn the volume up. All right, so let me see the difference. Let's see what happens here. How long have I been on here? All right, so let me see the difference. How long have I been recording? It just says live. I don't even. What is 4:30? All right, so we figure I've been doing this for a couple of minutes, man. So all right, perfect. All right, so it's working. All right, listen, bear with me for the test. All right, so we're good. I just wanted to, like I said, I gotta figure that out, like just to make sure that it's streaming and you can hear it. So I'm gonna get a little closer to the mic this time too. Excuse me. I'm gonna get a little closer to the mic and hope that this sounds better, because I kind of didn't like how it sounded, and so I got like pop. I put my own pop filter on this mic, and then put another filter on top of it. So maybe that's too much, maybe it's not, but we'll figure it out. But I do like the lighting this way, and I could see maybe okay, so that makes sense. So right now my monitor's at an angle, camera's at a slight angle, so the background looks a little off, but that's not a big deal. All right, so now what we did is so yesterday we finished chapter 1 basically. So now we're moving into chapter 2, and in light of that, I'm gonna use I think it's Elgato. That's this right here, just so you can see it. Oh, there we go. Like this is a little app, so you can just press the buttons, like basically use the phone to control everything. Which I think this is nice because it makes it easy. And it's literally on the phone. I think it's think it's $2. I think it's $25 a year subscription type thing just for that. But I was looking online, just the little boxes that you touch, they're like $200. So I like this phone thing. And then there's this little dice thing let me see if you can see it. Okay, there you go. Like right here, let me see. Like, so right here is a little dice one. So you hit this button and bam, it'll roll a dice. Let me see. There you go. What? Okay, there you go. So I'm looking at it. Oh, you got to hit it to make it roll. I just got to get used to. I got to get used to where everything is at orientation wise, because I'm looking, but I kind of see it in reverse. So this is good. And so just this right here, I guess this takes time to getting used to streaming. So these are the things that I'm learning. All right. So anyway, what we'll do is we'll come into chapter 2. So let me move that. Let me see if this is working. So I think it must be highlighted on that. So let me see. All right. So chapter 2 is called Doing Battle. The first chapter we read was strategic assessments. All right. So now we're going to officially start. I don't know if I can put something in the thing to let people know, just to get past all of the. Somebody want to just hear me. That's something else I'm learning. So maybe I'll try to see if I can set up something to guide somebody in the description, so you can get to this faster instead of going through all of me testing. All right. So, all right, we're going to start with chapter 2, and we'll go ahead and we'll start right from the top. So the funny thing is, it starts with Lee Kwan on this one. So it says, first establish your plans, then prepare your equipment. This is why the chapter on battle follows the chapter on strategic assessment. Okay, which makes sense. Assess the situation, now going into battle. And it starts, Master Sun Tzu says, when you do battle, even if you are winning, if you continue for a long time, it will dull your forces and blunt your edge. If you besiege a citadel, your strength will be exhausted. If you keep your armies out in the field for a long time, your supplies will be insufficient. All right, so that's what Master Sun says. And hey, this makes sense, man, because you can't win continuously without being worn out. All right, so this one is straightforward. Now, right now it's sorry about that. It's 4:37 a.m. right now, so I'm still tired. I'll be doing this like at the crazy hours in the morning, but I'm just trying to get it in, just to try to keep it going no matter what. So I'm doing this before I go to sleep, and then we'll just keep running it that way. So I'm gonna read this again, because it says, when you do battle, even if you are winning, if you continue for a long time, it will dull your forces and blunt your edge. If you besiege a citadel, your strength will be exhausted. If you keep your armies out in the field for a long time, your supplies will be insufficient. Yeah, man. So this is thorough, because what happens is, like they said, if you're winning, but you're constantly like now obviously they call them citadels back then. So this is like thousands of years old, but it's the same thing of if you're like, even if you're staking something out or whatever, if you're in battle, you're winning and you're trying to sustain a position in the field, right? What happens is eventually you'll run out of supplies. And then when the thing of sieging a city, normally when they siege a city, let nobody out, they're doing the same thing, hoping that the city eventually runs out of supplies, but they got to out supply the city in order to make it a successful siege, so to speak. That's very, very interesting. So you will be sharpened, like I said, dulling your sword. I'm sorry. It will dull in your sword. All right, so that's cool, man. That's my take on it. Now we look at just Jia Lin. He says, even if you prevail over others in battle, if you go on too long, there will be no profit. In military operations, total victory is important. If you dull your forces and blunt your edge, sustaining casualties and battle fatigue, then you will be exhausted. Zhang Zhu said, when you are spending a great deal of money on a military operation, if the army is out in the field too long, your budget will not be enough to cover the expense. Li Quan says, as the classic Spring and Autumn Annal says, war is like a fire. If you don't put it out, it'll burn itself out. Now I like that one. That one is hot, man. So Li Quan got two shots to Li Quan, my man, because that's nice. War is like a fire. If you don't put it out, it'll burn itself out. Man, that's some heavy stuff. You see that everywhere, like just in general. Like, man, because then everybody loses. That's crazy, man. Yeah, if you don't do it, everybody's a loser. So war is no joke, man. So Jia Lin says, if a military operation goes on for a long time without accomplishing anything, your rivals will begin to get ideas. And then my man, do you's my man every time. Do you? D is spelled D-U-Y-O-U. So do you? What's up, man? Arms are tools of ill omen. To employ them for an extended period of time will bring about calamity. As it is said, those who like to fight and so exhaust their military inevitability perish. Yeah, so that was cool. All right, so now we're back to Master Sun. When your forces are dulled, your edge is blunted, your strength is exhausted, and your supplies are gone. Then others will take advantage of your debility and rise up. Then, even if you have wise advisors, you cannot make things turn out well in the end. Man, I gotta be double reading these, man. I'm gonna read it again. So when your forces are dulled, your edge is blunted, your strength is exhausted, and your supplies are gone, then others will take advantage of your debility and rise up. Man, see? So no matter what, that's what I said, it's a lose-lose situation, man. That's why I like that. War is a fire. I like that. I gotta make a note of that quote. War is like a fire. If you don't put it out, it'll burn itself out. And it's not just war, man. Most conflict, I'm talking about conflict with friends, family, anything, man. It eventually burns itself. Everybody loses in the end. But man, he said, then even if you have wise advisors, you cannot make things turn out well at the end. So it's like, that's pretty hot. So my take was what I just said about family and everything. Yeah, man. Like even if it's like in the sense of converting it into like conflict in the family, right? If you let it go on too long, it will burn it. It does burn itself out, man. It's and sometimes, like I said, you can't fix it. Like some of the problems become some. And there's a lot of things that were said in here, even in previous chapters, like letting some things like take care of things when they're small before they get big. It's easy to handle it when it's small before it gets big. That goes in line with this though. So if advisors, if you can call them counselors or psychiatrists or whatever, they can't make things turn out well. So this is no joke. It's true, man. Yeah, conflict is terrible. Well, obviously, but it's if you're in conflict, man, know that you definitely want to bring it to some type of resolution quickly. Whether that be an argument with somebody, friend, family, or whatever, anything that you got going on, don't let it muster too long because it burns you out as well. So Li Quan says large scale operation involves enormous expense. Oh, should I get closer to the mic? Let me see. I'm assuming this is so. I'm gonna get a little closer because I tend to lean back because it's comfortable, but I want to make sure that I'm being heard too. So a large scale operation involves enormous expense, which not only breaks you down in the field, but also exhausts you at home. Therefore, wise government does not keep its army in the field. I'm sorry for all this yawning, but I'm tired as hell, man. But I still gotta push through this. This is I gotta push through, man. So master son, therefore, oh shoot, I'm not even following up. Hold on a second, I forgot I have this, man. Boom. Right, so we're on page 58, right? So here we go. When forces of bluntness. So I think, yeah, that's the first one. Then I'm reading this one. Oh, here we go. All right, so therefore, I have heard of military operations, that were clumsy but swift, but I have never seen one that was skillful and lasted a long time. It is never beneficial to a nation to have a military operation continue for a long time. Now, you got to think about invading Iraq and all that stuff. Man, Afghanistan, those wars are lasting for decades, man, and there's no major resolution to that situation. So this is like currently a good example. And then what did they do? They just left. They pulled out and left all of the equipment stranded. Not stranded, but they left all the equipment over there in Iraq after they pulled out. Like, so, like, it's great expense that you lose, man. Sitting there, spending all that time there, and then, excuse me, good that they pulled out, man. I'm a little more tired than I thought, though. I gotta tell you that. So I don't want to be yawning and being rude, but we gotta keep pushing. Like, I'm pushing through on this because I gotta keep doing the practice. So, but damn, that's deep, man. So that reminds me of the war in Iraq, Afghanistan, all these wars that we've been in for a long time. And it wreaks havoc on families, the economy, the whole entire country suffers from the having our troops in long sustained wars. So again, I'm not an expert on that, but that's my take on it. So Cal says some win through speed, even if they are clumsy. Kind of don't. I'm not with that comment, man. So Cal, man, I ain't agreeing with you on that one, my man. But let's see what Dumu say. Some may be clumsy in attack, but they get the upper hand through extraordinary swiftness because they are not subject to the problems of wearing out their forces and using up their resources. Pretty good, man. All right, so I gotta go back to my man Cal. I understand what you mean now. I needed Dumu to make it more make it better understand it. So now I kind of get where you coming. So because you did say some win through speed, even if they are clumsy. So you didn't say everybody wins through speed. So Chin Hao says, as it is said, be swift as the thunder that peals before you have a chance to cover your ears, fast as the lightning that flashes before you can blink your eyes. Now I like that, man. Chin Ho, man, he's dropping bombs right there, boy. Chin Ho is dropping bombs. I'm gonna read that again, man. Be swift. It is said to be swift as the thunder that peals before you have a chance to cover your ears, and be as fast as lightning that flashes before you can blink your eyes. Good stuff, man. All right, so now we're on here we go. I'm getting used to this because, like I said, I'm using this to forward the screens, so I don't have to touch the mouse and stuff. I got a clicker, but this manages the application that I'm using to start the screen, and I have it managing the presentation. So that's the gist of it. So I just got to practice on this just to make sure it's legit. And then, so now Sun Tzu saying, therefore, those who are not thoroughly aware of the disadvantages in the use of arms cannot be thoroughly aware of the advantages in the use of arms. So that's pretty heavy right there. If you don't know what the disadvantages are, then you would not be aware of the advantages. And that goes into his thing, back into the assessments. You need to know what they can and cannot do, because it is just as important what can't be done as what can be done. to know that. So I definitely see what he means on that aspects. Yeah, so that's like if you don't know both sides, like what am I good at, what am I bad at, then you can't really assess what you're good at, right? Because you need to know, in order to know what you're good at, you have to know what you're bad at. And the same thing, to do a full assessment to say that I know something. So that's my take on it. So advantages and disadvantages are interdependent. First, know the disadvantages, then you know the advantages. All right, so that's pretty much where Lee Kwan is what he. That's pretty much what I'm saying in a sense. When the generals are haughty and the soldiers are lazy, in their greed for gain, they forget that there may be an unexpected turn of events. This is the greatest disadvantage. All right, so that kind of, I think that's kind of like, I think that comment is a little off, but hey, man. So here, my man, do you? Let's see what do you say. This means that if you are planning to mobilize your forces and embark upon a campaign, if you do not first think about the calamities of danger and destruction, you will not be able to reap any advantage. Okay. Whew, man. So now it's those of you, those who use military skillfully do not raise troops twice and do not provide food 3 times. So now, those who use military skillfully do not raise troops twice and do not provide food 3 times. Because if you're doing it skillfully, most likely you handle things swift and you're more efficient and more precise. So that's like measure twice, cut once. So that's I guess that's pretty much in line with what they're saying. If you actually a skillful use of your military saves significantly on the resources. And that makes sense though. And then when you do something, you do it once because you actually did all of the assessments. And I think now I'm starting to listen to this. I think everything, because he said this comes after assessments, but I think now that this his words are building upon the previous words. So, all right, that's my take on it. Now, cacao is CAO. So I'm saying cacao, cow. But I'm saying cacao, just so you know, I don't mess it up. He's saying that this means you draft people into service once and then immediately seize victory. You do not go back to your country a second time to raise more troops. At first, you provide food. After that, you feed off the enemy. Then, when your soldiers return to your country, you do not greet them with yet more free food. Okay, so this is pretty good. This one from Cacao here is pretty good. Yeah, you do not go back to your country a second time to raise more troops. First, you provide food. After that, you feed off the enemy. This is like starting a business, right? So when you start a business, you got to feed it, right? You got to provide it with some type of money, some type of startup capital or effort, sweat equity, whatever you want to do it. But what you want to do is you want to build the business off of the profitability of the business itself. So you feed the business, you start it, you want the business to start feeding itself, right? And then you would hope that the business produces so much that now it feeds not only itself, but it feeds everybody that is that's partaking in that business. So, but this is similar to starting a business, because then that's it. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So Dumu saying, determine whether the enemy can be successfully attacked, determine whether you can do battle, and only afterwards raise troops. Then you can overcome the enemy and return home. And again, it applies to business. So before you even start the business, You want to know in regards to the competition, and we could just say competition is the enemy as a line in this book, and then to determine whether you have a viable product that people will want to buy. And then when you know that you have a viable product, then you raise the capital to handle the business. So you do all of that, and then this way you can overcome the enemy and return home. But I'm just translating it into business because you do all the planning before you put all of the investment into the business. I was talking to a friend yesterday, and that's on the chat. I don't know if I was streaming that, but it might have been streaming. I was streaming it. It's on Twitch. If you go to the Twitch, Big Nard 007 on Twitch, and you watch the Call of Duty, what happened is I was talking to Mark the Great, and he was talking about buying a property. And in that conversation, I was like, hey man, you should do all of the due diligence prior to making that investment. And so that's basically what this is saying. So do all your due diligence and know, because you can determine. There's a lot of things in real estate. Like I'm not a master, but I'm an investor. So what happens is there's things that you can find out before you even go into the business to know. Nothing's absolute, but you would have a pretty high probability that this is going to be somewhat successful, or you have contingency plans, or you could tell that this will, with a high probability that this will reap some type of profitability, because you can do all of the research. You can even find out who's interested in, right? So if I know that there's 20 people interested, I got 20 apartments. I'm buying a building, a 20 unit building, and there's already people who want to move in there, and they're willing to pay the price that would be profitable for me and investors or whatever. What happens is that's a good sign that there's a market for it, right? But back to the conversation we had before, he was looking at an abandoned building that they were selling. So I'm like, you need to do the research on why they're selling it, right? And why is it abandoned? And so that matters, because he goes, yeah, I could go in there and fix it up. And it's like, yeah, I get it, but you want to make sure that when you go there to fix it up, you're not going into a place where people are moving out and there's no demand for people to be there. And then you pick up this building, and then now you got to try to get people in there. You want to have the building sold before you even make the investment, in my opinion. But that's what these guys are saying. When you going out into attack, you want to already make sure that everything you need, that victory is done. So you don't have to, when you go in there, you get everybody, you just do it in one shot. And that's by doing an assessment on the military assessment. And then before you go into battle, which makes sense. It's the same thing. You do it for anything you do. To be honest with you, for most things you do, I'm gonna say anything, but there may be some exceptions to the rule. But for the most part, that's how everything has to be, man. You assess it the best you can to the max of your ability, and then from there, your decision making becomes much better and much more efficient. That measure twice, cut once. All right. So now Lee Kwan says, do not raise troops twice, lest the citizenry become wearied and bitterness will arise. All right. So then we're back to Master Zhu. I like that one though. So Sun Tzu. Oh, damn, this is cool, man. Like this little button thing is cool. So by taking equipment from your own country but feeding off the enemy, you can be sufficient in both arms and provisions. And taking equipment from your own country but feeding off the enemy, that's basically another same thing I said from the last one. You start your business off with your own money, but the business runs off of its customers, and therefore you're sufficient in both arms and provisions, but you're both proficient. So that's my take on it. So Cacao is saying, when you are going to go to war, first you must calculate your expenses and strive to feed off the opponent. Bam, using the words calculate. See, these dudes are business majors, man. You must first calculate your expenses. Dude, that's what I'm telling you, man. and strive to feed off the opponent. Yep. Calculate your expenses and strive to feed off the customers. Like basically have the customers buy your product, right? So Lee Kwan says, if you have your own arms and take food from the enemy, then even if the campaign takes you far afield, you will not lack for anything. Yeah. You're feeding off the land, right? The land's always going to provide you. In this sense, I'm saying you're feeding off the enemy, but you're feeding off the land is a similar aspect. So this way, you're abundant. Like, so you could be out there. Now, again, you don't want to be out there long, but it's sustainable. So if you have to be out there for a long time, your level of sustainability is greatly increased because you're basically you're living off of the land, or off of the war. You're living off the enemy. Anything else, you're living off the land. Travel from here to California, right? It's a long drive. You pack 3 peanut butter and jelly. You pack 3 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, man, you're gonna have a problem, right? But then what happens is if you know how to, find food or without money, I'm just talking about without money. You just this is just hypothetical. But if you know how to eat off the land, you're good, right? You'll be able to. You could be out there for as long as you need to be, in regards, except for gas and stuff. Except for gas and stuff. But if you know how to make your own gas, then you don't. I'm just playing. I just had to do that. I'm tired, so I'm starting to phase out, man. But when I oh man. All right. So then Cacao says armaments are taken from the homeland, provisions are taken from the enemy. All right, that's cool. So now master, excuse me. So we go to the next one, and what we have on. Oh wait, there's 2 on page 60. Okay, yeah. So when a country is impoverished by military operations, it is because of transporting supplies to a distant place. Transport supplies to a distant place, and the populace will be impoverished. Yeah, man, that's deep, man. But that's an obvious one, though, right? So, oh man. And that goes back to, this is following what he's saying, because you're impoverished, and you're actually sending food a long distance, meaning that your troops or your military leadership is failing at providing provisions off of the environment, right? So now you're sending all of that stuff all the way out there as opposed to getting it from there. So again, I don't know how the U.S. military operations are, but again, when they're in Iraq and everything there, they're shipping supplies and everything over there. Now I'm assuming that they're doing, they're taking resources and supplies from the countries that they're in or occupying or protecting or whatever. But that would be the similar thing, because you got to fly. Like when they're going over there, you got to those vehicles, you got to fly those over there. That's gas, airplanes. That's a lot of just the logistics on that. It has to be unbelievably insane. And they have to do that. Everything, they have to follow all of this to assess what they need, what they're doing, what they're bringing. It's pretty heavy, man. So Lee Kwan, that's my take on it. So Lee Kwan is saying troops are raised repeatedly and the levies are heavy. Okay, so sorry about that one. I don't get it, Lee Kwan. So Dumu says, Master Guan said, when provisions go for 300 miles, the country is out a year's supply. When provisions go 400 miles, the country is out 2 years' supplies. When the provisions go for 500 miles, people pale with hunger. This means that food should not be transported, for it is the producers will lose, so they cannot but be impoverished. And that's true, because you're taking everyone out there and you're feeding them and you're sending it, and it takes a lot to transport. That's why now obviously transport's more efficient, but still going to take. It doesn't matter how, even now, it doesn't matter. Like it takes time. It takes a lot of resources to transport food and send it out, right? And they're saying the further out it goes, the worse it is. Obviously, they're giving an equivalency of how much damage it's doing, how much toll it's taking. And that's why they're saying that if you don't live off the land, you're basically going to impoverish your country through war. And again, United States, same thing. How much money they spent fighting a war, and then some people are like, you're fighting in an area that's a desert, like you're blowing up bombs that cost $200,000 on rubble. It's like, a broken down areas. You're shooting caves with missiles that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, and you're doing it with tons of them. So you're spending billions of dollars blowing up the sand, so to speak. So, which is crazy. Again, I don't know what it's like over there, but I'm just saying from not knowing a lot of that, what you see, a lot of that area that they're hitting is desert. You know what I'm saying? So your armaments and everything you're using, it costs a lot of money, man. So, all right, that's what Master Guan said. All right, so Gia Lin says transporting supplies to distant places means that wealth is expended in travel and used up on transportation, so that the common people become poorer day by day. So they knew this stuff. This is like, I don't know if it's thousands of years ago. I gotta, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back over this with the because what I did is I haven't read this in a long time, but what happened was in the intro it tells you the year that he's believed to be, from what I remember. So, but obviously it's not like something that I'm trying to scan through. But so I don't know exactly when in history he started writing these writings, and these guys started responding. But nevertheless, this was like, we know it was hundreds of years ago. So it's pretty interesting. So let me see. When a country is impoverished. All right, cool. So that's the GLN. And then Zhang Yu said, when 700,000 families have to support an army of 100,000 on a distance expedition, the common people cannot avoid impoverish. Yeah, you can't, man. Like, yes, because everybody's trying to build provisions to feed people that are and then transporting and everything. That's tough, man. All right, so that's my take on that. And that's the end of that one. So Master Son, let's go to the next one. Right? And so we're on page 61. So for the people who are just coming in, reading page 61 of The Art of War by Sun Tzu. The one I'm reading is translated by Thomas Cleary. The Shambhala Dragon Edition book. Really good book. Like I said, I read it a long time ago. I'm glad I picked it back up while I was testing to kick this off, because it's a really good book. Let me say, so like, I gotta be highlighting the hell out of my books, man. But that's the gist. So, all right. So now, page 61. Master Su says those who are near the army sell at high prices. Because of high prices, the wealth of the common people is exhausted. So now, this one, excuse me. Yeah, I don't really have an official answer to this one, because I don't really know. I don't really know on this right here, but yep, I don't know. I don't have no official, because I'm trying to think, like, because I live right next to New York City, right? So like 7 miles from it, and New York City is expensive as hell, man. And listen, if you work in New York City, the pay is higher, but you still got to go just to go over the bridge. Man, I think it's $15 to cross the George Washington Bridge or the Lincoln Tunnel to go into Manhattan. So that right there, dude, you got to think about just $15 a day just to go across the bridge. That doesn't include your car, the gas and everything that you're paying, and just the amount of time you're spending in traffic. So that's why they said the common people, the wealth of the common people will be exhausted because it costs a lot of money just to work in New York. And the food is expensive too. So what happens, everything you do in New York City is going to be a lot more expensive, which actually affects the wealth of the common people. So I'm assuming, that's my take on it, but I'm assuming that for the most part. So let's see what Cacao says. When the army has gone forth, those who are near the troops, greedy for money, sell at high prices. Therefore, the common people become destitute. So Lee Kwan says, near the army, there is always trade. The common people use up their wealth to go along with it and so become destitute. Jia Lin says, whenever the troops gather, the prices of goods all soar. Since people are greedy for exceptional profits, they sell off all their goods. Thus, at first, they make a great deal of profit. In the end, they run out of goods. Also, since there are extraordinary levies, those with something to sell demand the highest prices they can get. The common people go broke trying to buy things, so the country naturally is impoverished. All right, so Jia Lin's explanation, I like it. I like this one really well because basically what I was saying, even in New York, it's expensive. And then all the business goes into Manhattan because Manhattan, you have the massive populace. So anything you open up in Manhattan is going to pretty much make money as long as you do a quality product, quality service. It'll definitely make money because you got so many people there that there's always going to be somebody that's interested in what you have, like constantly. So there's so much there that everything you can think of is in New York City, like within walking distance. So it's kind of crazy. But I like that. So since there are extraordinary levies, those with something to sell demand the highest prices. That's why they could do that in Manhattan. But then you got to pay the high expensive rents and stuff like that too. So there's like a trade-off. But the common people go broke trying to buy things. So the country is naturally impoverished. So Wang Zi said, when supplies are transported far away, the people are worn out by the expense. In the markets near the army, the prices of goods shoot up. Therefore, long military campaigns are a plague to the nation, or to a nation. Yeah, so even that, these guys calculate all that stuff, but yeah, even that become a plague to the nation. So drink some water. They become a plague to the nation. Water break. Wow. All right, so now I'm getting the hang of this a little bit. When Master Sun says, when resources are exhausted, then levies are made under pressure. When power and resources are exhausted, then the homeland is drained. The common people are deprived of 70% of their, no, let me see, does it say percent? Yeah, 70% of their budget, while the government's expenses for equipment amount to 60% of its budget. Yeah, man, let me go to that again. That jumped to the page 62. The common people are deprived of 70%. When power and resources are exhausted, the homeland is drained. The common people are deprived of 70% of their budget, while the government's expenses for equipment amount to 60% of its budget. All right, now that one, I'm just going to go look back over that just to get the Bernarderisms. Yeah, then levies are made under pressure. All right. So when resources are low, prices go up, right? Yeah. So the prices go up, which that makes sense because of the heavy increase in pricing, because it's harder to get stuff, right? So the rarity of things make people charge more for it, and even including, I guess, how they need the cost of provisions and the military equipment. That goes up too because the price goes up for everybody. So it's like a lose-lose situation. This is telling you that war and conflict is a lose-lose situation. But if you're in it, you got to win it, right? You got to win it. If you win it, you want to win it. But you don't want to be in it. You want to be like the physician's elder brother who fixes your ailments before you even know it. And then that was like in the introduction when I was mentioning. I don't know if I read that part, but I'm gonna go over it. But that part with the eldest physician, he fixes a problem. He sees a problem or an illness before the person even knows they have an illness. Like he can see the signs of what you're doing is going to lead to this illness. So he corrects it before you even do it. So you don't even know that he saved your life or he healed you or stopped you from getting cancer. Like somebody smoking cigarettes. Hey man, cigarettes might get you lung cancer. People are going to smoke it anyway, right? But if the person can say, hey, I know that cigarettes are going to give you lung cancer, and he figures out or she figures out a way to get you to stop, they actually say they prevented you from getting lung cancer. So, that person doesn't get credit because you don't know that they prevented you from getting lung cancer. Then the doctor who does the surgery is the doctor that you actually praise. So the doctor who does the surgery for your lung cancer saves your life. He's the one that saves your life. But the person that told you, hey man, you shouldn't be smoking it, smoking cigarettes, they are the ones that, if you would have listened to them, they the ones that did they did the biggest impact of saving your life. This other person seems like a hero because you're already sick and he's helping you with something that you can see. But that's the gist there. Um, that's my take. But now Dumu says if the military situation is not resolved and the army is not demobilized, levies become increasingly oppressive, resulting in exhaustion of the resources of the people so that they lose most of what they produce. Ho Yangji says the people are the basis of a country. Food is the heaven of the people. Those who rule over others should respect this and be sparing. Okay. So Mayochin says the common people provide goods, foods, and labor for the use of the military, thus losing most of their own sustenance, while the government provides equipment for the use of the military, thus losing more than half of its budget. Therefore, taxes are used up, the army is worn out, the populace is exhausted. When levies are oppressive and the people are impoverished, the country is drained. Yeah, so that's serious, man. So I'm like, wow. Let me see. Let me try this real quick. Well, yeah, that's cool, man. I like that. Okay. Oh, that's cool. Okay, totally get rid of it. All right, now that's cool, man. I like that. All right, so therefore, a wise general strives to feed off the enemy. Each pound of food taken from feel that each pound of food taken from the enemy is equivalent to 20 pounds you provide by yourself. So each pound is equivalent to 20 pounds of food, which like and that because that's talking about the resources it takes to transport that food and provisions and everything. The toll it takes is 20-fold, which makes sense. Like even man, a lot of stuff we don't look at. You know what's funny? Like you do some things and then people they don't realize that the net result of what you're doing can be and beneficial in magnitude to what is expected, right? So like you're working on things. It's like I guess like going to school or not just when I say school, not just conventional school, but let's just say you're going to learn a skill or learn something that will generate income, right? Um, the effort you put into that school produces depends, like right. If I'm talking about something that not studying, I'm saying going to college and you do the 4 years and you pay you let's say 100,000 debt or whatever. So I'm saying from the perspective of something that you can learn, let's say from a certificate aspect of it, something you can learn that you can actually use and generate some type of income or some type of benefit, right? The amount you put in it to what it produces, that seed once planted, it produces more than one seed. It produces a lot. So one seed produces many, and so when they were saying that because the amount of food and the amount of resources it takes just to transport anything. I mean, if you're going on a family trip and you're trying to do it for the day, and if you plan it and you pack, it takes time just to pack everything, prepare everything, to get everything, just to get it to move out. Now, obviously, if you're it costs more money, but if you don't do that, right? So, like I said, working in New York City, the amount of money that you save by bringing your lunch is astronomical because you'll just in man because everything for the most part in New York is $10 or $15. Like anything, if you go on a lunch, your lunch is going to be $10 or $15, and I'm talking about that's the bare minimum, right? So your bare minimum is going to be $10 $15 just lunch, and that's not like lunch. It could get crazy price wise lunch. So bare minimum $10 $15, average 20 $20. And if you're eating somewhere, people try to do lunch specials and stuff like that. But I'm saying if you're eating at some of the other places, $20, $15 $20 is about right. So you think about that. That's a day. That's just on lunch, and you talking 5 days. That's $75, right? So you figure 75. Actually, if you hit the 20 part, $75 to $100 on lunch for 5 days. Right? That's it. Right? Forget about if you do breakfast, lunch, and then sometimes because you work in New York, you might go out and eat something. And so dinner's gonna be like $20 $25. And I'm talking on the low end though. This is low end stuff. Um, but you already know it could get astronomical in New York. So you talking about it could be man, it could be up to like $55 a day. A day. If you go on lunch, breakfast, and dinner. So you figure $55 a day. That's a lot, man. Golly, man. But I'm just saying, just in general. So when you look at that that's rent. Like for the year, that's rent. That's some people's rent that you ate. You literally ate a month's rent. And and that's just for one individual. So imagine like trying to do that with multiple people. Like let's say if you and a spouse or something, y'all both working, and you don't, and those provisions start. The price is astronomical. It goes up. So I don't know how well that links into what this is saying, but a pound of food that you make at home is equivalent to buying. It'll be like 20 times more if you don't do it. And that's the opposite way but you're walking into it. But it's the same thing and you do it in reverse, right? So 1 pound of food taken from the enemy, in this sense, 1 pound of food brought from home is equivalent to 20 pounds of food purchased out in New York City. Where New York City's restaurants and stuff, that's the enemy in this case. But I just wanted to say that, man. That's my take on it. So cacao, that was a long take, but so cacao, it says transportation of provisions itself consumes 25 times the amount transported. Yeah, that's deep, man. So, and it's important because they're spending a lot of time on that subject. Zhang Yu said it takes 20 pounds of provisions to deliver 1 pound of provisions to a distant army. If the terrain is rugged, it takes even more than that. That is why an able general will always feed off the enemy. Yeah, that makes sense, man. Like just knowing that is like, man, dude. Yeah, that's motivation, man. Because when you're hungry, you're gonna get it in. You're gonna make sure you eat. So yeah, that's deep. All right, so let's go to the next one. Do a couple more. What time? It's almost 5:30. How long have I been doing this? Let me see. Does it tell you? Oh, let me see if I can see how long I've been. Oh, here we go. Does it tell you? Nah, don't tell you. Nah, don't tell you. I can't even. Whoa! I've been. Oh man, I've been doing this for an hour. Oh my god! All right. So what we'll do is yeah. So we'll do this one. We'll just do this. We'll do page 63. There's 3 on page 63. Oh no! You know what? We'll just wrap it up. We're gonna finish it up. We're gonna push through because we're only a couple pages from chapter 3. So this one is doing the whole chapter. So let's move it. I'm gonna move it up a little. That part of not haste, efficiency and skill. I'm gonna start having to employ some of that on this. All right. So all right, let's go. Master Sun Tzu. So what kills the enemy is anger. What gets the enemy's goods is what? What kills the enemy is anger. What gets the enemy's goods is reward. Okay. Just it didn't when I first read it didn't sit right. All right. So what kills the enemy is anger. What gets the enemy's goods is reward. Okay. So that's anger kills the enemy. I don't know. Like for me, man, I don't know if it's anger or I don't know if he's saying that anger is what kills the enemy. Anger's on behalf of of your troops or of the enemy, or because anger kills the enemy when the enemy's angry, right? But being angry, I don't know. That's why I said I don't understand the angle or the perception he's using in this comment. But what gets the enemy's goods is rewards. So the rewards part I can understand because you let your troops is a reward. If we take over them, the reward is we've accomplished all of the provisions and goods, which is in line with what they're talking about. So I guess he's trying to say that this is what gets to that point of we're talking about what you need to do to get the food. I mean, we need to survive off the enemy's provisions. Now I guess he's moving into this is how you do it, right? The enemy is what kills the enemy is anger. Maybe when they say anger because they're hungry, I don't know. But what gets the enemy's goods is reward. If you say, hey man, we get the good, that's the rewards. So rewards is the goods. I'm gonna leave it alone. That's my take on it. But let's see what the others say. So Zhang Yu said, if you stir up your officers and troops so that they are all enraged, then they will kill the enemy. If you reward your men with spoils, that will make them fight on their own initiative so the enemy's goods can be taken. That is what it is said that where there are big rewards, there are valiant men. Okay, so all right, so from that perspective, yeah, that's what I was saying. I didn't understand what he meant because remember, you wanted to get the other troops angry to create division. So now we're using anger to fight fear, so to speak. And he used the term enrage. All right. So and then, like I said, the rewards. If you, the actual victory is the reward, the loot is the reward. So that makes sense. So Do You says if people know they will be richly rewarded if they overcome the opponent, then they will gladly go into battle. Yes, I like Do You's way better as opposed to getting the enemy angry. I'm not the enemy angry, but getting your troops angry. Like motivated, yeah. Angry, that's my take, so I don't kind of align with that part. Especially when we were talking about using anger for decisive. But I know what they mean though. So I'm not going to stick with the word. So sometimes you gotta check yourself because we hear a word and we stick to the word like that word means that, but we're humans, right? So I may say a word. My word is to convey a message. Doesn't mean that every definition of that word that I said is it has to be abided by exactly to the exact definition of that word. As in Webster's dictionary, I may be having a different. I'm using that word because maybe that's what came to mind, and that's a word that expresses what I'm thinking that I can grasp at that moment. But a lot of times people stick on a word and go, "You said that word," and I go, "Yeah, but it didn't mean that." But you said that. That's what that word means. I'm like, "Yeah, but that's not the message I was conveying." And then they don't want to hear that beyond that point because they'll say, "You said that word, and that is what the word it means, and then therefore you meant that." And then you could tell them that no, I'm the one that said it, and I know what I meant when I said it, but it still doesn't translate well to other people. So in my case, I'm doing it to him. So I will now understand, and I will be, I'll just back and say, now I get what he means. So anger, I do agree with what he means by anger, because do you made it a little more clearer for me. They'll be they will be rewarded if they overcome the opponent. So the object is overcoming the opponent, not the word angry. Because I was applying the word angry to the deception aspect and having an interloper come in and cause confusion and division. So, but he's not using anger in that same sense, which is cool. So I learned something. So Wang Zi, this just means establishing rich rewards. If you let the troops plunder at will, they may get out of hand. All right. So therefore, in a chariot battle, reward the first to capture at least 10 chariots. All right, so that's cool. Now remember chariots back then. So, that's cool though. So Mayo Yochin said, well, let me get my Bernardarisms on it. I'm gonna make these quick, man. Therefore, in chariot battle, reward the first to capture at least 10 chariots. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense though. Okay. Yeah, definitely reward. You got to give rewards, especially the way things are now. Because it's rewards for everything. Like, so obviously back then, man, everybody doesn't get a reward. a reward. But if you do give a specific award to those to motivate them to capture 10 chariots, that makes sense to me, because it's like I said, it motivates everybody, because now everybody wants to get the reward, because we're kind of, I guess for the most part, we're pleasure seekers as individuals. Like, for the most part, I'm not saying that everybody, but we do look for a reward. People go to work because they're going to get the reward of a paycheck. And if you look and think about what we do as people for a job that we won't even do for ourselves because we don't get the paycheck. Like some people, when they don't go to work, they wake up at 6 a.m. to go to work. When they don't got to go to work, they wake up at 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock. And it's like, come on, man, why wouldn't for yourself you do the same thing and then get stuff done for yourself? But no, but it's weird. And like some of the stuff, like driving in the snow, shoveling your car out, all of this stuff to get to work, and we do it, man, regardless, and we getting there. So reward creates a lot of motivation, man. It makes you do things that you normally wouldn't do. So I guess that's the thing, man. If you reward everyone, now this one I like. So now May Yochin is saying, if you reward everyone, there will not be enough to go around. So you offer a reward to one in order to encourage everyone. And this is the thing, I guess, that's the thing I was just mentioning prior in that. Now in society in 2022, everybody wants a reward. What is it? They say participation awards. It's like, yeah. There was a situation where I had a friend and her nephew was in school, and he got an award for doing something great. But other people got the same award, but they didn't do what he did. And he's like, why are they getting, like, he was confused, going, why are they? I think he's in like the 5th grade or 4th or 5th grade, maybe 4th or 5th grade. But he was like confused. It's like, man, they're giving awards to them as well. But he goes, I'm the one that did the big thing, and they still gave out other like feel good awards, I guess. So, but he just questioned it, and so there's not a so when you're doing anything of award, it's like having a contest or a giveaway, right? And you don't say everybody who applies get the giveaway because what happens is it actually diminishes the value of the giveaway as well because sometimes we motivated by the value of something. So I did something before when I did a giveaway and I was giving away some products and what happened is people wasn't following up on the giveaway, right? Because some people don't want the products. Hey, that makes sense. But when I put a gift card for cash, man, that made a big difference. Now you have people responding because now it's the cash. And they went through the process of whatever we were saying during the giveaway. But it's funny that the motivation, that cash motivated people to action. So it's pretty interesting. But only top three get the reward, right? But the top reward was a cash value. And that got everybody else to do. Now, only one person, there's three people going to win, but only one person is going to get the cash reward. The other ones are going to win. Everything that was in the same reward, nothing changed. It's just that we said, you know what? We'll add the first place person gets an additional cash reward for it. And boom, that one thing, I get motivated everybody. So everybody, we started getting a ton not a ton, but we got a lot of responses. Let's put it that way. A lot of people did it that normally didn't do it for the just the prizes. Where we at? Oh, I forgot to move the thing. So I gotta get this together. Whoa, what is this? Wait, did I mess up? Give me 1 second. Oh, that wasn't Sun Tzu. Sorry about that. Yeah, so if you reward everyone, there will not be enough to go around. So you offer a reward to one in order to encourage everyone. All right, that's cool. That was it. He's the only one that responded to that. So now change their colors, use them mixed in with your own. Treat the soldiers well. Take care of them. So now this one is I'm assuming because right now he says conquer and get the loot of the enemy. So I'm assuming he's talking about what you do is when you bring in the truth, when you take over the resources, you bring them the I guess the enemy, the people who are fighting for the army that you took over, you bring them into yours, but you treat them well. But you give up different colors. I get this so you can distinguish who's who, right? That makes sense. So you give them different colors and you mix them with your own, but you treat them well and you take care of them. So yeah, that makes sense. So you bring them in, treat them well, take care of them, and then now they become valuable to you in your cause. From that perspective, I guess that takes a lot of skill in order to understand to do that, so they don't come turn against you. But I guess that's part of being a skilled general, right? But yeah, and I guess you take care of them as their own. Take care of them as well as you take care of as well as you take care of your own, just to show them that I guess show mercy on them. But that's interesting. That's my take on it. He goes, you change their colors to make them the same as your own. You use them mixed in with your own so as not to leave them to their own devices. Yeah, that's why I say because you mix them, but you don't leave them to their own. So that because then that's why I said they'll try to come back and get revenge on you or whatever. Then Jialin says you change the color so that they won't be recognizable to the enemy. Huh? You change their colors so they won't be recognizable to the enemy. I don't understand that one. Captured soldiers should be well treated and get them to work for you. All right, so that part I understood. But that other one, Jin Lee, man, me and her, don't agree on that one. All right, so this is on page 64. This is called overcoming the opponent and increasing your strength to boot. So obviously, he says you overcome them, and it increases your strength because you bring them into yours. So your numbers go up, your strength goes up. They're fighting for you, and like you said, you leave them. You That's why I said the general movements, but you definitely have them mixed in, keep them separated, so they don't let them all gather, so they don't come against you, but you bring them in to to fight with you. So that increases your strength. So now you got a bunch of opponents that are fighting for you. Like I said, that's heavy, man, because to do that is pretty impressive. Like just to be able to do that in concept is very impressive to me. All right, so that's that one. So only one. No, okay. So Mayo Chin. All right. So Dumu. So Dumu saying. I want to make sure this is. Yeah. So Dumu is saying by capturing the opponent's soldiers and using the enemy's supplies, you increase your own strength. And then Mayo Chin said, when you capture soldiers, give them responsibilities according to their strengths. Take care of them kindly, and they will work for you. So then Ho Yangji says, if you use the enemies to defeat the enemy, you will be strong wherever you go. It's pretty heavy, man. All right, so yeah, that's pretty heavy. All right, cool, man. So then let's go to the next one. We have this one. So the important thing in a military operation is victory, not persistence. Yeah, and like, yo, you got to keep sight of the goal is to actually win. And when you go win in a war or a conflict, your objective is to win, to come out to your objective is to acquire or reach a goal, regardless of what that is. So once you ascertain your goals, then but you want to do it swiftly though, because you don't want to just say, hey, I'm constantly getting the goals, but you're never getting there. You want to actually win. Like you want to reach a goal, accomplish a goal, and then move on to the next. So you don't want to just be persistent and constantly go after something. Your goal is to actually get it done. So don't go in with the thought of absolute victory, absolutely, and swiftly, efficiently, which plays into all of the other stuff. So the way this is going is if you follow the assessments and then what they're doing in battle, it brings you to this point because you want to be efficient, swift, and you don't want to have your people in the field for a long time. Your goal is to win decisively, quickly, efficiently, and then eliminate the actual conflict of the war and get it over with as fast as possible before the fire burns you out. Right? So it goes back to that other quote. What was that? I had it highlighted, but I liked it a lot with the fire. Let me see. I didn't read that far, but I can't find it. But anyway, that one that I was talking about with the fire. If you put a fire out, man, I must have read a lot. I think I read a lot more than I thought. If that part with the fire, war is like fire. If you do not put it out, it will burn itself out. Yeah, so you want to get in there, get it done, and that's it before you burn yourself out. All right, so let's move to the next one. Oh, did anybody respond to that one? Okay, here we go. So Cacao said, persistence is not profitable. An army is like fire. Oh my goodness. It's used the same. I didn't even read this. So this is hilarious that I wasted all that time going back looking for the quote. And the person that wrote after that, dude, I'm telling you, man, I'm thinking like the generals. Oh my God. Persistent is not profitable. And it's just like I show you. That is hilarious, man. What is that? Yeah. See, persistence is not profitable. An army is like a fire. If you don't put it out, it will burn itself out. Yeah, and I went all the way. I was looking for it, and he used the exact same line. Oh man, yo, that's awesome to me because I'm like, man, dude, I'm thinking just like my man because that's the first thing that came up to my mind. So that's actually cool, man. Because I'm looking for that quote. I'm like, you know what, best specs is that quote, and it was right there in my face. It's just that I didn't read it. Oh my goodness. So because what I did is I just for this here, what I wrote on these things, I just typed this in. So I didn't even really like read it. I was more like typing it in because each time I do this test, I'm trying to do something to improve the experience, right? So I was like, you know what? Instead of just reading it, I could just put as much as I can in the caption and then display it so you can read it with me. Oh, what's up? Whoa. What's this? Von Rent? I just seen this. Let me see. So yeah, somebody said this Von Rent before. I don't know what that meant. Does anybody know what Von Rent means? So we got a comment in here. I don't know what that means. Somebody did it last time. Von Rent? And they spell it the exact same way. Now, that ain't going to do nothing, is it? Yeah, somebody said Von Rent the other day. I don't know what that means. I did look it up, though, because I was just curious to see what it meant. And I didn't even look at the comments. So I don't know what that is, man. When I looked it up, it was like something like there was some type of spam bot, like some type of robot or something in YouTube that pushed these videos up, but I have no clue. But anyway, because I did try to find it out, but somebody just jumped in. That was like 45 minutes ago, 40 minutes ago. But interesting. And looks like it's Russian. Yeah, it sounds like a Russian type writing, so that's cool. I don't know what it means, good or bad. It's still cool. Hey, I appreciate it, even if it's the thing that was the spam thing or whatever that thing, a robot. Hey, what's up, robot? If you're a robot, what's up? You know, computer. I'm a computer guy anyway, so you know, robots like me. Yeah, man. All right, cool. So Cacao said, persistent is not profitable. An army is like a fire. If you don't put it out, it will burn itself out. That was his perfect quote, man. I love that. So Meng Shi said, what is best is a quick victory and a speedy return. So all right, so we're all in line. Maya Yochin says, in all of the above mentioned, it is important to be quick. If you are quick, then you can economize on expenditures and allow the people to rest. Yo, that's pretty hot. All right, so let's go over to my man. Did I go the right way? Is it not working? Maybe I clicked on the other screen. Sorry about that. Like, yo, does it not work? Oh, I didn't even know it does this. This is cool. All right, that's cool. I didn't even know that. Here, let me do press only. All right, so this tells us how serious the matter is of appointing This tells us how serious the matter of appointing military leaders is. That's pretty cool. Huh? Did I skip one? Yeah, I must have made a mistake. Oh, actually, you know what? Okay, so this quote here, this quote is not valid because I must have been tired as hell writing this. Because this quote here is not what is not part of what Sun Tzu said, right? He said, hence, we know that the leader of the army is in charge of lives. It only gives me a limited amount of words of the people. That'll work. All right. And I just put these dots here because there's no more space. Yeah, I just do that. All right, but anyway, that's the quote. So hence we know that the leader of the army is in charge of the lives of people and the safety of the nation, right? So okay, so hence we know that the leader of the army is in charge of the lives of the people and the safety of the nation. Yeah. All right. So he's summing that up, saying that that's how important this position is. The military leader is um, for the safety of the people and the country itself. What is that? I don't know why it's doing that. I don't know why it does that. Like, I don't know why it's saying chapter. Yeah, okay. I don't know why I did that. But it says, hence we know that the leader of the army is in charge of the lives of the people and the safety of the nation. Yeah, that's facts. Yeah, man, that's facts, man. Because every decision they make can affect the lives of every soldier and the lives of everybody in their country. Because remember, there's somebody's on the other side of it, right? So there's people who are the victors, but there's also the people who are not the victors, right? So everybody depends on military leadership. So like even when you look at United States, any other country, but I'm in the United States, right? So when you look at the United States, it's very important that United States is successful, right? Because then what happens is the because we're in the competition. So right, we're all at war because you have other countries that want to take over, not just the United States, but they want to take over other countries, right? So you have to be careful. And all of this stuff that we're reading, it applies to the United States or whatever country you're in. It applies to every country that you're in and every lifestyle that you are experiencing, right? So all your values and everything, because there's different values in different countries, right? So some countries, they have a whole different set of rules and values and regulations that they live by. Customs, total different everything. And some people want to take over others and instill their way of life, or for whatever reason. You got countries that fight because there's disagreements, um, all different types of reasons. But the problem is, is definitely important, because if not, those countries will take over your country, and then your life depends on it. Like, so we run around, we got TVs, we got cars, we got these TV shows, we live in all this stuff, but yeah, everybody doesn't want that for us. And some people, I guess countries, could get jealous, right? Because countries are personification of its people, right? So yeah, that's a possibility, man. So that's serious. So yeah, so you do gotta say the generals and military leadership is very important in regards to the safety of the country. Because regardless if people believe in war or not, or whatever you believe in, we shouldn't hurt nobody, nothing like that. Yeah, I agree with that, right? Nobody should do anything, but I agree that if somebody's gonna make an offense or making a move towards you to do something to cause harm or anything to your country, your family, or anything, then you must take on a warrior position in order to defend and protect what you believe in. So at the same time, we shouldn't have it. It would be nice not to have it, but at a certain point, you do have to defend what you believe in, regardless of what it is. So I take the defense. Like, I'm a warrior. I'm a general warrior type of mindset, but I'm a peaceful warrior until wartime, right? So that's the take on it, man. So that's the last line. Let's see what the last people say. Then I'm gonna close it out, because right now it's 5:54. So cow, that was my take on it, right? So definitely, it's very important. So cow says that the military Leadership is wise, the country is safe. So Mayo Yochin says, this tells us how serious the matter of appointing a military leader is. And Wang Zi says, the lives of the people in the order of the nation are in the charge of the generals. The difficulty of finding good leadership material is a perennial problem. And that concludes chapter 3. So, no, that's what? Am I bugging? That's chapter 2. I'm sorry. That concludes chapter 2. All right, cool, man. So we're on chapter 2. We just finished chapter 2, and then chapter 3 will be planning a siege. So interested to see what that is. Remember, this book is, he wrote this hundreds of years ago. So I'm just reading, but all of it, the concepts are still valid today. So this is a really good book. Like, I like it. And there's another book that I want to read after this, just to give you guys a prenum. Well, I was gonna say prenum, like prenuptial. It's like Bhagavad Gita or something like that. I read that book a long time ago, and it kind of has a sense like this. So I definitely, in the future, after we finish this, I'm gonna definitely read the Bhagavad Gita. And I like this whole book reading thing, man. So this is gonna be something I do, period, right? Regardless. So it came out of me testing the video and lighting, and I started reading this, and now this is something I like to do. The goal is to make it more exciting and entertaining, right? So definitely gonna do that. This book it is what it is, right? So I'm just reading it. It's exciting to me, but I can see from an entertainment factor of reading it. It's very entertaining, but I can see that, I can see some people, I can see if somebody's like, not as entertainment, because you're reading quotes on war, and I'm trying to see because it all applies to everything. So yeah, so actually the challenge to everyone that's listening is, if you could, when you look at this, think of it in the situation of how things are in your life, right? Or things that you're familiar with in your circle. Translate it, just like this person translated it into English, translate it into situations in your life, right? So let's just take the importance of the what is it? We must know that the leader of the army is in charge of the lives of the people and safety of the nation. But this could be the same thing as family, right? So to come up with a way to apply it into your life, because they're talking about generals and armies, but we're leaders. Like, your family is a unit, right? So you have your provisions, all of this stuff applies to you and your family, and your extended family, your direct family, your job, everything. It applies to that. So just try to figure out a way that you can connect some of this to your life, because the principles themselves, in my opinion, they're not specific to war. They're universal. A lot of the provisions, a lot of the stuff that you're reading is universal. Like, I could just randomly pick one, and then we'll just pick something, and I'll stop right here, right? And then it says, use humility to make them haughty, right? So this is on page 53. And it goes, and this is what they says: if they ply you with expensive gifts and sweet talk, they are up to something. Like, I just randomly picked that. That applies to your life, right? So this one is straight. That one is straightforward, but that applies to your life. And I'll just do one more random, and boom. Let me see, what is this one? Oh, okay. So I'll just do one more random. Let me just so you can see the randomness of it. Boom, boom, boom. That's the introduction. So random here. So then we just pick this right here. Where's man, he doesn't have one thing on this whole page. All right, so this is the only thing this is the only Sun Tzu on here. So, all right, so I picked up this page, and we'll just read this real quick, and then we wrap it up. It's wrapped up, but I just want to say, in regards to the challenge, I challenge you to incorporate it into your life, and then to see how this applies to your life. Now, I'm just randomly picking this one, right? So it says, therefore, use these assessments for comparison to find out what the conditions are. You can use that for anything, right? But he said a bunch of stuff of how to assess things, but that applies to everything. And he says, that is to say, which political leadership has the way? Which general has the ability? Who has the better climate and terrain? So he's assessing the enemy and then making comparisons, right? We do that for even if we're buying something in the store. You do a comparison and an assessment to see which one is the better fit. Who has better climate terrain? Whose discipline is effective? Whose troops are stronger? Whose officers and soldiers are better trained? Whose system of reward and punishment is clearer? This is how you can know who will win. That goes into business, right? So whenever you're doing like the SWOT analysis, you're actually doing analysis on how you compete, how do you compare to your competition, right? What are you good at? What are you not good at? So, like strength and weaknesses. This is it applies to all of it. It's just that he's specifically focusing on war, but war is a category, and these are laws that apply to more than just war, right? And these are like supposedly tried and true, right? Like even in some of them, they said that some of the people that were commenting said that these tactics was used in this war, or they saw in history where these tactics was used. So these are real tactics. And somewhere I was reading that a lot of the militaries around the world read this book. So the book is, it's obviously an important book. So remember, man, we're in charge of our homes, our families, um, and whoever's reading this, male, female, what is it, non-gender, anything. Doesn't matter what you are. If you're a human, let's just use the term human. A human, this applies to you. All right. And then all it is you just map it to your situation and then understand that the laws are the same. They're basically the same laws. All right. Hey, man, man, woman, because I say man all the time. So don't get offended by me saying man, because I'm not saying man like man. Don't mean like male. But that's it. We're going to be doing chapter 3, which is called Planting the Seeds. Next time I see you guys, next time I test. So a couple of the things that I'm taking away from this is the lighting is better. So that's an improvement. I'm acknowledging that worked out better. This app, I do like this. I do like this app. It's pretty good. The thing on that I do too is how to find my lives on YouTube, and then to make sure it's streaming. So also, again, I started kicking back. So I don't know how good the quality of me kicking back. I know it's going to be better if I'm closer to the mic, but I don't know if me moving back and forth makes it from an experience perspective, makes it a better experience, right? So again, how am I reading it? If you guys got any comments on what I could do to make it better, definitely let me know, because that's the purpose of what I'm doing here, is the testing. So the lighting for right now is much better. It's not in the glasses anymore. I actually like it. I like the way the lighting is set up now. So pretty much going to say that's a scenario. The camera angle is definitely off. I don't know. Let me see. I could do here. Yeah, because I'm done with the reading. I'm just going over the assessment of, and I think this should be more here. Yeah, I think that's better. Yep. All right, cool. So I'm just trying to get this together a little more. And all right, so that's cool. Because I'm trying to get it. I guess it has to be down a little bit, so it looks like I'm more in the camera. But again, trying to figure these things out little by little. Yeah, so it gets me more in the camera. I think that's a good shot. So right now, this setup right here, I like it so far. Anything you can see that I could do to improve it, let me know. I'm looking as well. Like I can see kind of like my head. There's a double shadow because I got lights on 2 different angles, but I don't think that's that bad. Doesn't show up like it's not distracting, in my opinion. But let me know if it's distracting. And that's pretty much it. All right. I do like the streaming thing. The video on my screen, so I'm looking at the actual StreamYard, it looked like the video stopped, but it's still recording. Let me see. 'Cause I put my hand here. If I don't see it stop, then I'm doing this on purpose. Okay, good. So that's good to know. So is the video went black on the, because I'm using StreamYard. It went black on StreamYard, but on YouTube, it didn't stop. So that's good to know. All right, and that's pretty much it. Definitely appreciate you guys, whoever's still here. Appreciate you. If you're not still here, I appreciate all you guys. Anybody that came in, tuned in, I want to say, hey, say subscribe, because that's what you got to say now. But right now I'm not doing any much, so I don't want to say, hey, subscribe when I'm not doing anything. Like I normally would say, hey, subscribe when I got something to offer. But that's it tells you how long I've been on here. Have I been on here for an hour and 40 minutes? Wait a minute, hold up. I think this is an hour and 40 minutes. I can't say that. Whoa. Yo, I've been on here for an hour and 40 minutes. Are you serious? Holy smokes. Yo, listen, I've been on here for an hour and 40 minutes. All right, so one of the things that I do, because right now I'm testing, so this is deliberate. But one thing I definitely will add to my notes is I got to make this more streamlined. It's 6 o'clock. Are you serious? So I need to make sure. Write this down. I need to make sure I'm more streamlined. When going live, as I could, right? Because again, none of this is, this is not practice, not rehearsed. This is just me just talking, but I didn't realize that I've been talking for an hour and 45. An hour and 40 minutes. You know how tired I was 2.5, 3 hours ago? And I'm still yapping. Wow. So now you got to put a timer on this. Because I didn't realize I had no clue that I was on. And I'm looking over here because you can see that, okay, on this screen, I have a screen over here. So my camera's right there, right? So I got the camera here. On this screen to my left, I can see, I didn't realize, I'm learning. It says live and it tells you how long you've been live for. It tells you how many people are looking. But like I said, I'm not really looking at that. Let me just see how quick that shows up. Okay, so it doesn't update right away. Okay. Interesting. But I've been on here for that long. I didn't even realize this. So what I'm gonna do is for chapter 3, I'm gonna try to see what I can do to streamline it. So that's my next goal. So let me see. So I got that, streamline this. So let me see what I can do. I'll write that as a goal. Yeah, because I must be rambling or something, man. Because dude, that's that was a lot. That was a lot. And I know it took me I think 5 minutes to get started. Not started, but because I was doing the testing with the lighting and stuff. But I didn't realize. And the reason why I'm sitting here like this is because that's not like an hour. That's an hour and 40 something minutes. So I'm just baffled because I'm tired. Maybe I'm so tired that I didn't pay attention. So now, but this is part of learning. This is part of my learning. This is why I'm testing. It's easy as hell to sit here and talk for a long time. So I got to watch this to see what the hell I was saying. Because I am tired. I could feel it. But, all right, that's what I learned. All right, so I'm going to sign off. Listen, man, definitely appreciate everybody. And wish everybody the best. It's morning time. So listen, have a good Eastern time. It's morning time. So if it's morning where you at, good morning. If it's night, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Definitely appreciate it. If you stuck here and listening, hey man, I give you guys incredible credit. In fact, give you guys. I gotta set something up. So check out my site. Let me see if I can do this. Let me see if I can go here. Let me see. I did not mean to stay here this long though. Check out my site, goda.com. Is it Big Nard? I think it's Big Nard. I think I got. You want to watch me stream? It's Big Nard. Let me see if this works. Yeah, so it's Big Nard. Oh, it's not Lord Colossius anymore because I was going Lord Colossius and Big Nard, but I did transfer it to Big Nard. So it's Twitch TV / Big Nard. Actually, let me fix that now. Let me see how you do this. So let's go to edit. Let me just, while I'm here, just might as well fix it. It's Big Nard. No, it might be Big Nard 007. Man. Let me double check. I think it's Big Nard 007. Wow, that's amazing. Because I just had the Twitch. Man, that's amazing. Oh, no, I guess it's not there. The Twitch app. Oh, that's I got so many phones, man. I'm like, why can't I see where the Twitch is at? Here we go. Yeah, so it's Big Nard 007. So Twitch is Big Nard 007. Check me out there. Let me add that. And then boom, let me see. Twitch. Yeah, so Big Nard 007 on Twitch TV. Check me out when I'm streaming playing games. Right now is random 7 o'clock. No. 9 to 10 on Mondays. I'll be adding more, but every time I play more often, but I don't have it scheduled because I just play. I like playing, right? So I just play whenever I got time to play. But Monday nights, I'm trying to make it official. I'm just testing it. Sun Tzu. But right now we're looking at the Sun Tzu Auto War book reading. Thanks for joining us as we do the reading. When I'm playing, we got drboycewatkins.com. Check out drboycewatkins.com. I'll give a shout out to him. Actually, check him out. He did an interview with me as well. Pretty good interview with me and my daughter. First time like me doing an interview too, so it's pretty cool. But on drboycewatkins.com, check him out. Very good. And then we got my man Gmaculate Gaming. Check out Gmaculate Gaming. I'm just running this through. Again, this is me testing. I even got this stuff here from the other time I did this. I don't know. Vacillation means indecision. These are the vocabulary words from the Auto War book, right, that we were looking at. Immoderate means excessive. And that's pretty much it. All right, I just wanted to throw that up there. All right, so check out goda.com. Also, let me know what you think. Check out those blogs, man. I got some pretty articles that I wrote that I like. Obviously, I like them because I wrote them, but check them out. That's pretty much it. I'm definitely done, 100%. I am totally baffled that I've been talking for an hour and 48 minutes, and I'm gonna stay on just. Symbolically, I'm gonna stay on until it says 1 hour and 50 minutes. So that's 1 more minute. So I'm gonna do the 1 minute 1 minute thing. I'm tired as hell, but I guess I don't know. I'm excited though. Oh man, sorry about that. You don't mean to be yawning in your face. That's another thing, but yeah, that's why I'm tested. You guys are helping me. Anybody watching, any feedback or anything, you're helping me, and I definitely appreciate you. Appreciate your feedback. Appreciate everything that you do. I'm appreciating that you exist, right? So that's the gist. One more water break. I should have been drank water. All right, so listen. 15 seconds. Signing off. I wonder if there's an end broadcast button. I assume so, but I'll assume not because that's it. But listen, everybody have a great day. Have a great good morning, evening, afternoon, good night. One love.